what if Asta had anti-copy magic? I already clarified in part 3, I'm pretty sure, that it will be that name from now on. And stuff. And because it's copy magic and stuff, so he does have more control over his forms and everything. And so every title of it, so like anti-black flame magic, it's called anti-crystal, so he copies the crystal. I'm just gonna say he has anti-crystal, what's its name again? Golem, that's what he copies. Because I'm gonna say he only has a certain number of copies that he can do at once. So he can only copy 4 magics at a time. Kind of how original or ordinary is, where John can only copy or boost up and copy 4 different powers. So right now he has fire, cloud, crystal, and because I want to say he can't copy black magic or like dark magic because it's kind of the same thing, so he never copied it or anything. So then he copies, I want to say, string magic from Vanessa, where he can capture. So he has all their spells pretty much, and he can capture people in anti-magic and stuff. So the anti-cloud magic he can also do, but instead of like restoring magic or anything, his takes away magic. Or like reverse store, where it stores magic inside food. He does that, the type of food that they eat. So what he does is that he can capture somebody and feed them food that takes away their magic. He takes that magic and puts it inside some other food. I'll say that he comes up with like a pretty much like a food pill or a magic pill from like Naruto and all that, but a chakra pill. And that's what he comes up with, and he has a couple of those. So what I'm gonna say is that he did this to the girl that likes to eat a lot very early in the morning, cooked for her, tricked her into stealing her magic away from him. And the dudes that he captured also did that. So I'm gonna say he has 4 different jars of it. If he takes these pills, I'm gonna say that it turns into anti-magic, I'm gonna say. So he does run out of anti-magic. I'm gonna say he can only use a certain amount of spells so many times and all that. So they're in the dungeon. What he does is that when they meet no, instead of string magic, I'm gonna say he got lightning magic, so from luck, from touching it. So he does that little thing with the gauntlets and stuff. I'm gonna say luck. Is that it's pretty much like what if Asta had like had ordinary powers, John's powers, so his magic is umped up. That's where the stickiness comes from with the cloud and all that. So all I'm gonna say is that he has the form where Luck turned into an elf and had the elf power where it amped up his electrical form. So he has that form while Luck like, wow, you upgraded my magic, and he does the same thing because Luck was a prodigy too, as they shown and all that. So he also upgrades his magic already, just to add that little form in because I like it. So here on, he says anti-cloud, dark black cloud magic, because that why he does this is to hide their magic or their presence, just in case there's any. And Luck can still sense magic. So Luck jumps off and leaves. Also, they're flying, so they don't touch traps, but Luck jumps on them and everything. Vanessa's, wait, what's her name? Milana. I need to learn Noelle's cousins there, and Four Eyes, and sees that magic, and he's like, Asta, what's that magic? Who created that? He says, mine. He's like, so you do have regular magic? He says, no. Apparently, my magic actually is called copy man. Anti-magic / copy magic. I can only hold up to 4 different types of magic from somebody's grimoire. He says, oh, Four Eyes, the background. Because they already know that they were in noble clothes whenever they came. You can tell the difference from noble kids' clothes compared to baby clothes where they're at the church. So I'm going to say people keep on asking them if they're nobles or whatever. And they give them that story because they know nobles. That they might be nobles, they're saying, because they were in noble clothes and everything. So I'm going to say Four Eyes expects them to be nobles because how strong they are. Especially, and stuff. So they go on. They leave. They have this little thing. What I'm going to say is that he can switch out of magic for 24 hours. So if he switches to plant magic and he wants to switch back to crystal magic, he can do that, I'm going to say. No, wait, never mind. He can't do that. So he sees her do that thing. He activates his lightning, goes up there, and he says switch out loud, touching her magic, her creation magic. And any people that have plant creation magic or plant magic, it's the same thing, I'm gonna say. So he creates that, and they're like, what? Did you just copy your magic? Didn't you say you had 4 Eyes stocked up? He said, I just switched it out. And 4 Eyes says that's cheating. Says that's cheating. And 4 Eyes that's not fair and stuff. He says, all I did was use my magic. And he activates his wing, because his wings are faster than the cloud. Picks up Noelle and flies off, flying really fast and disappearing a black thing. And they're then Yuna jumps off, tells them to fly because this is going too slow. If they ride on this, they can't catch up to Asta in this. And he starts flying, navigating. I'm gonna say the fastest path that they didn't, Vanessa's or Noelle's cousin didn't get through was because it is a enhanced magic. So I'm gonna say hers wasn't perfect. And he goes that way. They see this. I'm gonna say Asta says, and anti-plant magic, anti-black plant magic, plant eater. He eats all the smoke. Seeing Luck, he switches to lightning magic and starts shooting the dude that he can't dodge. Takes him out. He grabs Luck real quick and tells Luck to copy his wing, because Luck's a genius and he does it. So Luck's keeping up with them while doing that little jumping thing, what he does whenever he does that. Hitting walls, keeping up with him. They fly. I'm gonna say they get to the door first. And I'm gonna say Asta tells them to sit down in these crystal chairs and look really smug. Whenever Four Eyes and Yuna gets there, really tired out because they went as fast as they can. They look up, and I'm gonna say Noelle's cousin says, how'd you get here so fast? And I'm gonna say that Asta made cups for them. They're just drinking the mana water, and it's like spring water, so it's clean. And they're just sipping it, gaining mana, while Asta's turning the mana into anti-mana. That's what I'm gonna call it. And he says, "Oh, we just flew." And then the dude comes, he activates his crystal. But I'm gonna say, Asta hits his crystals for his mineral magic. And it tells him his magic spells and all of that. And he does mineral magic, mineral anti-magic black mineral golems. Some like 3 big versions of himself, not as big as the suit that he was wearing, the diamond mage dude, but pretty big ones, sweeping them out with swords and all that. I'm gonna say Asta could tell where the sword came from, his Demon Slayer one, and all they see, because I'm gonna say like the magic is wiped out, like the mana where the sword went through was like inside the sword, so I'm just like inside the area there's like this big hole in one of the walls and stuff, and his book starts glowing, and I'm gonna say the sword kind of went back into its place, and he was like, "Is this where the sword came from?" And they're like, "What?" He said this sword just flew out and went back to the spot, and this area has magic or mana absorbed from, and they already defeat the mineral dude by Asta's clones kicking him, I'm gonna say, or hitting them with their swords. And they're like, "What? Is that true?" And then like, I'm gonna say, I'm just gonna add this move to the plant plant creation magic, or lightning magic, where luck senses and tells them that that sword was here, showing them like a lightning protection of what happened, and showing also saying demon slaying sword out of nowhere, and the sword disappearing in a black thing. And they're like, "Wow, so your sword came from here? So how ancient is your magic?" they say. And they're like, "Yeah." Gets the fairy and all that. The dude wakes up. See you in the next part.